Public schools in Fairfax County, Virginia are preparing to include gender identity in its curriculum for grades 7 through 12. The family life education lessons will include teachings on heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, and transgender identity.
Pushing the sex education then so that the boys become promiscuous with the other boys and the girls become promiscuous with the other girls. Because while they don't even know what sex is and they don't know what these things are, they have the school system feeding them this, telling them that this is good and this is okay. And then what do they do to the masses?
Andrea Lafferty of Traditional Values Coalition joins us from our Washington bureau to talk more about this controversial subject. Andrea, thanks for joining us.
It's great to be with you. Thank you.
First of all, tell us about this curriculum and the motivation behind it.
Well, it's interesting. The school board voted earlier in May to add gender identity. It's not a part of the state law. It's not a part of the state school board instruction, but they've decided to add it against the will of many of the parents. And so now what we're dealing with is a vote on the family life education. Now, while we're talking specifically about Fairfax, I think it's important for people to understand this is happening across the country. So I may talk about Virginia, but listen carefully for your own community.
Wow. Well, how will this curriculum impact the students?
Well, it's very interesting. Right now, what will happen is, starting in kindergarten, they'll talk to them about same-sex or gay marriage. And the parents will not be able to opt out. One of the big issues is in Virginia, parents can opt their children out of certain parts of the quote family life education. And so now what they're doing is they're trying to move parts of it from FLE, family life education, to health, which means the parents cannot opt their children out. And so we've been poring over the regulations and the information to see exactly what's happening. But we are very, very concerned that they are doing it here in Fairfax County and perhaps other places without the parents' knowledge or consent. In the 8th grade, they will be discussing, let me just say, Bill Clinton's activity along with oral and anal. In 8th grade, and most people, and they've lowered it from 9th grade, or teaching 4th graders about the word incest. Teaching 4th graders about the word incest.
If you are now, or have ever been, a parent to a 15-year-old, you know just how impressionable and fickle they can be. Keep that in mind as we tell you about a shocking new policy in one western state that would allow 15-year-olds to have sex change procedures done without parents even knowing about it. Here's correspondent Dan Springer in Oregon.
15-year-olds in Oregon can't smoke, give blood, or get a tattoo, but now they can get drugs to suppress puberty and even a sex change operation without their parents' consent, and the government will pay.
Then you have the other schools in Colorado handing out satanic coloring books, pro-abortion books, anti-Bible books. That's why they're pushing in Satanism into schools. That's why God's removed from schools. And that's why they're pushing same-sex and gender equality into schools where it doesn't belong. They're getting these kids at 4 years old, 5 years old to hear about how it's okay to be a guy and to like a guy, and the kids get confused because they don't even know what sex is. But they're thinking to themselves, I must be gay because I'm hanging out with a boy all day, I'm playing baseball after school with other boys, oh, so I must be gay. If you understand mind control and you understand when the brain is most vulnerable, you understand what they're doing with these kids is they are programming them at a young age to be gay, to be open to it, to create, if at the very least for them, to create a race of bisexual people. Because at the very least, that's what they expect to accomplish from this. At the very least. But you'll see the numbers escalate as more and more people will be gay. And they'll say, it's just because more and more people are coming out of the closet, okay? It's because more and more people feel safe now, so they're coming out of the closet. It's such a total lie and such a total scam. It's not because people feel safe, so now more people are coming out of the closet. That's why there's more gays and gays appearing. It's because it's mind control. That's what it is, and that's what this gay agenda is about. This is just another example of them going after our children and brainwashing them.
Have a very radical and even mutilating treatment being offered to children without any evidence that the long-term outcome of this sort would be good.